6 months ago, I bought one of my dream cars. It's a 1985 Porsche 911 with a whale tail. This is the story of my restoration so far. I bought it off a local farmer. It'd been sitting in his barn for 5 years, hadn't run for 5 years, didn't have a battery, a lot of the interior was in bits. It was really in a bit of a sorry state. First task, get this engine running. So do the basics, get it serviced. I've never worked on a Porsche before, so it was really learning on the job, making loads of mistakes and just working from there. I made a lot of mistakes on the way, and I did a hell of a lot of cleaning. Gaskets were changed, spark plug was changed, oil was changed, fuel filter was changed. Then I moved on to this 90s style immobiliser, as the car wouldn't turn over, wouldn't switch on, wouldn't do anything. So first thing I wanted to do was get this immobiliser, which turned out to be a big job. Absolutely tons of wires everywhere, all needed to come out. Here's all the cables I've taken out of the car. That is all immobiliser. Next job was dealing with this rusty fuel tank. As I put fuel in, it just came straight out the bottom. Generally, I've been using original OEM parts. But on this fuel tank I didn't, I used a copy just because the cost was so drastically different. At this point we still didn't have a spark, couldn't get this car running, so the next job was to change the crank sensors. Easier said than done. Yes! So at last we've got a spark. Now change all the plug leads, get it all back together and see if we can fire this thing up. Genuinely, first time I've tried to start it. Can't believe it. Unfortunately, the success was short-lived. On its very first test drive, it gets stuck in reverse. So, reverse it back down the drive and back in the garage and see what's wrong with it. It's bloody worked, man. What the? I just don't understand it, and I don't understand how it's not going to happen again. Oh my god, that's ridiculous. So I'll go and grind it down and try and make it. Then we tried to get this car on the road. It was all about getting it through its MOT. So lots of bits and pieces need to be done. As my son would say, sad times. I didn't, it's 50-50 whether I thought it'd pass, but it's an epic fail. And just to top it off, I broke down on the way home. Well, I actually ran out of petrol. Let's get it home. Enough fun for today. So the dangerous defects are 3 of the 4 tyres. Basically, they are old and perished, so easy fix. Major defects: windscreen wipers don't clear the screen. Nice easy fix. Position lamp not working near side front. That's that lamp that I was struggling to get in. Well, you get the picture. There was an endless amount of maintenance to do to get this thing anywhere near roadworthy. So, back to it. So, a complete overhaul of the brakes, front and rear. On the front, not so bad, changed the discs, changed the pads. On the rear, I had to change the calipers as well as the discs and pads because the calipers were just beyond repair, well certainly beyond what I could do. Once the bearings were all cleaned, re-greased, discs bolted back on, they went back on the car and were like good as new. Then it was a case of fixing the intermittent problems I had with all the brake lights and the indicators. Everything seemed to be second-hand, broken, rewired, so it was a case of getting it back to original best I could. Then onto a gearbox leak. The speed sensor was leaking, so a case of replacing. Unfortunately, couldn't change gearbox oil because the sump wasn't solid, so I'm going to have to try and do that. Another MOT fail item was the door handle. You couldn't actually open the driver's door from the inside, so I had to replace that. Unfortunately, it's a temporary repair because the handle I got isn't quite correct. And without doubt, one of the most satisfying parts of the build so far is getting it ice blasted by the blastsmith. As you can see, it does such a great job of removing the underseal that's been put on the car and revealing the original finish of the car. And it's in such good order. A real welcome sight. This cleaning's allowed me to see all the components underneath the car and really get a good idea of what needs replacing and what doesn't. And I must say I was so impressed with the condition of the car. Very little rust and a lot of components actually in full work. Just look how good this suspension came up. These aluminium arms really are back to original. Whilst the engine did run, it wasn't running very well, so in an attempt to solve it, I changed the injectors. As you'll hear, it didn't really solve the problem. My attention moved to the interior, straight on with the seats. That was interesting. Works. 100% works. Yes! With the passenger seat fixed, it was time to move on to the driver's seat. But as always, there's always something in the way, and this time it was a seized bolt which needed drilling in. See there? So that looks like it's been chomping away on something. As in not a mice chomping away, a mouse chomping away. I think that's got caught somewhere and just cut. That's what I'm hoping anyway, because then I can just connect those up, put it back together and forget how they did it. Bit more cleaning of the interior, removing some old glue, ready for the trimmers, which is the next step of the build. So what's it all cost so far? Well, previously on a different video, I got to £39,713. The car was £35,000 plus all the extra bits. I've since, to get it to the point where you see now, I've spent a load more money. So rear brake calipers and a few other auxiliary bits around the brakes, a few pipes, etc. £2,226. Indicating housing and bulbs and a couple of seals, £825. This is all genuine original Porsche parts, by the way, so that's why they're particularly expensive. Brake disc covers, so at the back of the brake disc the covers were all rusty, so I bought new ones of those. Again, original stuff, £319. Fuel injectors weren't original, didn't work, probably a waste of money, £147. They should be more like £100 each. But I'll come back to that in another video because I haven't got there yet. Ice blasting was brilliant, £1,000, but to be honest, that was the money best spent, I would say. Steering shaft, bearings, I've had a nightmare with those, so I bought various bearings and made a right hash of that. £563. Luggage compartment dash cover, that's really about when I start getting the interior done, but I've bought that as well. That's £328, again genuine Porsche part. So my total so far, and it is so far because there's more to spend unfortunately, is £45,127, give or take a few quid. So that's an expensive car now. I don't know what the ceiling price is of a car like this, and actually would this get a ceiling price anyway, but I think 45,000, I am in deep now with this, and if I was, well, when I do finish it, I can't imagine it'll stack up financially, but I'll have a great car and I'm going to do some road trips, so who cares?